Interesting partnership.
100%. Okay, we're live. Hi, everybody. Good morning from Germany, and thank you once more for joining us today at the Migration Truth podcast. And today we're talking about a very important topic, which is money mindsets. And we have a very special guest. If you've been watching my videos and live streams, you may have seen Romaric once or twice. And as always, I have my co-host here. Before we proceed, I would like them to briefly just introduce themselves and then we get started. We can start with Romaric.
Hello, family. My name is Romaric Ntomen. I'm a Cameroonian. I have over almost a decade of experience in the finance sector, but actually, that's not where my journey started. I started in the accounting, then switched to economics before finance. I am a financial advisor here in Germany. I help especially brothers and sisters here in the diaspora navigate the German financial system because either way, we all need someone to guide us in order for
100%.
us to succeed together and to grow together.
Thank you very much, Romaric. My co-host.
Yeah, good morning from here in Nigeria. It's a very good, cool weather this morning, and it's peaceful here. We're enjoying ourselves in Nigeria. Thank God we have Romaric here. Maybe after this meeting, we'll discuss on how to fix the Nigeria economy.
Wouldn't that be
Interesting one.
great? Wouldn't that be great? So, guys, if you
Yeah.
watch our last podcast, we've shut down the time to 30 minutes just so that we go straight to the point right from the beginning and that we can also keep you fully engaged. Without wasting further time, we will dive into the key part of today's conversation. Today, when I look back coming to Germany over 10 years ago, and I think about the things which I know today compared to back then, it just feels different. And I believe that's also the case for everyone. You look forward and then you think about the things that you know, and then you look backwards and you just wish you knew those things. But you can't beat yourself for things that you did not know. But the question is, what you are learning today, what are you going to do with that? And I think with that, we can dive into the main conversation for today. Michael, over to you.
Yeah, migrants money mindset. So is M cube, yeah, M cube. Three good
Yes,
M's
sir.
here. So migrant money
Hmm.
mindset. Romary, being in the finance sector, what has been the experience with migrants' money and their mindset?
To be honest, the experience is not really positive so far. Is because of the survival mode which most of us migrants are engaged or we find ourselves embodied with. Because at the end of the day, migration we should be able to treat migration as a business, meaning
Right.
that not like an escape route, but as a business. I would make it very simple. As a migrant, you have to evaluate, let's take it in simple terms, the SWOT analysis. You know that your strength, okay, is the fact that you are your own person, meaning that you have something which no one in the world has to offer. And your strength is that where you are coming from, there is how worse can it be? Meaning that only
Yeah.
the fact I watch Mike always say that just the fact that you have left the comfort of your home is a risk, meaning you are a risk taker before coming here. So most of us migrants, especially from Africa, we have that mentality. We are fighters. That is our strength. We are survivors. Now, when you look our weaknesses comes in the area of you know nothing about the system. You know nothing about how the financial system, the taxes, the bureaucracy operates. You have these weaknesses, you don't know the language, you have to navigate all these things. But we are conscious of that fact. Okay? So we are not actually blinded of the fact that we have weaknesses that we need to triumph. I will skip the opportunity part because that is the most important. I will go to our threats. When we come to when we travel, we have the external threat. We have some of us might even face the area of racism. Some of us might even face, even you are a second choice for every job that you apply. Those are the external threats, meaning that we have to double our efforts, double our efforts to navigate through any system that we find ourselves. Now, when we the African mentality is all these three steps: the strength, the weaknesses, the threats we are conscious about. But
Yeah,
one thing we lack, which we must really focus about on, is the opportunities.
yeah,
We are so engraved in this in our weaknesses and the threats that are involved, which blindfolds the opportunities that exist. When I say opportunities, Africans are just limited in the opportunities in the areas of I will go to school, I'll find myself a good job. That is, if I achieve that, that is all. Now, how about you growing, having that mindset that you can go beyond your job? You can achieve the money you work, you can have it work for you. The difference is that most of us Africans that travel here, back in our home country, most of us don't have access to some financial tools that we can use to invest. But here the opportunity is so vast, but we find ourselves so closed up and comfortable with our job that we have.
yeah. 100%.
Wow.
I couldn't agree more.
So Michael, if I may just come
So
in with
your
this
question
question.
was, what is my point of view in that? I think we are lacking in this area of opportunity in seizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now, for instance, if I'm to travel abroad to Germany,
Are you there?
what are the possible financial system bottlenecks that I will need to navigate?
Hi.
Yeah, we can hear you, Romaric. It's a bit slow, but we hear you.
Oh, you can hear me, Romaric?
Yeah, I think Romaric is having issues hearing us.
Oh,
Probably
no.
I could take that one, pending when he comes back.
Did we lose something?
No, can you hear me, Romaric? Please
I can
confirm.
get you. I guess it
Please.
was my
Okay.
problem.
All right. So, Michael was asking a follow-up question saying, as a migrant moving abroad, what are those financial hurdles that you must navigate, those financial challenges that you must overcome?
To be honest with you, like I was saying, but did you get what I was
Yeah,
saying so far?
100%. Yeah. That's the key thing for migrants is they are missing the opportunities which they are supposed to grab. They are
Okay.
overlooking that. They're focusing on their weaknesses and the threats, but not uh, taking over the opportunities which are in front of them and which is the key thing for them. Yeah, we got that.
Okay. Yeah. So what is your next question, please?
About the financial challenges that migrants who want to move abroad to Germany or to Europe, what are those financial challenges that they must navigate?
To be honest with you, every system or everywhere you go, you will find challenges. Challenges are
Right.
part of our life. So if you
100%.
don't find challenges, then definitely there's something wrong where you are. Okay.
Yeah,
So if you want to travel, let's take it from a perspective of someone who is back home.
yeah,
Let's say Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana. Before we travel, we lack the difference between the migrants now and the migrants, let's say a decade ago, is information.
yeah.
Everyone has access to information no matter where you are.
Yeah.
The problem now is how do you use this information that have been placed before you?
Mm-hmm.
I watched
Mm-hmm.
one of your live. Someone made mention of the fact that the person you meet, the first person who picks you up from the airport, might determine your future, your stay, whether
100%.
you have to go back or not.
100% if you're not
I
careful.
totally agree with that, and also but with some reservations.
Yeah.
I'll say this because most of us, our aunties or cousins, might pick us up from the airport. They will tell us about how to navigate the system. But most of us are so enclosed with our immediate surroundings.
Yeah.
So, meaning that if my auntie, my uncle, my immediate friends that have been here before me tell me that A is A, that is what I should follow. No, I'm saying this because as a migrant myself who came here knowing nobody, okay, in the peak of Corona, it was a very big challenge. But then it puts you on that edge to actually look for the opportunities that exist in that area. So before even traveling, okay, there are lots of information online that someone can have access to. But
Yeah.
I agree with the fact that we have to filter this information because everyone try to post a life which someone poses to look successful, but meanwhile they are suffering behind. So meaning that abroad is not easy, as everyone says. Like I
Yeah.
agree with those who are of that opinion because you have to walk your, let me use the word, let me forgive me for the word ass off, because
Mm-hmm.
when we look the area of financial challenge, I don't see challenges, I see opportunities. I always avoid that word challenge because in
100%.
every setback there are opportunities that are hidden behind. I would
100%.
take an example of a young man who travels, let's say for studies. This man comes, of course, they gave him advice to try to learn the language to get himself a good job, build a family. But in the process of all this guy does not actually know how to take advantage of the tax system. What are the things that are really deductible that he can actually use to regain even some money from the finance arm? The community here, we are so focused on my private well-being rather than the community well-being. Isolation is like a silent killer,
Yeah.
meaning that when you see the diaspora of the Indian community, the Asian, okay, they have this community where they share knowledge, financial knowledge, investment opportunities. That is what is lacking with our community as Africans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
in every aspect, whether because when we talk about financial challenges, it doesn't only start with when we say money. Financial challenges, meaning if you fail to navigate the bureaucracy, it will lead down to finance.
Yeah.
If you fail to learn the language effectively, it will lead down to you having challenges in having good job, and also it affects your finances.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end
100%.
of the day, we as Africans that organize, I see a lot of communities that exist. Okay. But now these communities, we limit ourselves in areas of, okay, we have to contribute 200 euros a month to
Mm-hmm.
give to
Mm-hmm.
one person. They call it the tontine. But why not communities that we have to ac- actually carry out investment opportunities together,
Yeah. Yeah.
like buying a real estate as a community,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
identifying opportunities in the market, because in every community there are people who are specialized in accounting, there are financial experts, there are doctors, there are nurses. All these communities all these people who make up these communities have to give their own input in other areas that can elevate the community together. So we are so much, I can say, so much engraved in our togetherness in other aspects rather than focusing on the financial aspect of it. Meaning that the financial aspect of it is like so robotic that also private that nobody shares.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I can't get you.
Mike, we can't hear you very well. That mic is, it's not doing it. No, not good. Now it's zero. Okay, we must make this finance. Okay, still can hear you. Romaric, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can get you.
Yeah, I just would like to touch on, the points that you mentioned. Those are very, very valid points. And now imagine someone who is not here understanding what the current situation is, and then they just land, then they understand even how better to navigate the financial system. I like it also that you made mention of um, finance not just being in the aspect of say money per se, money directly. So Micah, which one are you? Let me know which one to remove. Okay, I'm gonna remove the steel one here. Okay, good. All right. So Mike, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Loud
We
and
can
clear.
get you
Much
loud
better
and
now.
clear.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah, I
hear me
was just
now?
touching. Yeah, I was
Yes,
just touching on Romaric's point before you joined, and I'll let you continue.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
thing is, finance goes beyond money. That's what I'm also beginning to realize. I've learned a lot from Romaric recently, and it will amaze you how much power you can have, the deeper your financial knowledge is. And I genuinely feel like a lot of the challenges that migrants face, even before moving and even when they move, it's mostly tied around the kind of decisions that they are able to make. And one key factor to make this
true.
decision is finance. It's very deep, but we're not even scratching the surface yet. So I'm excited about this, and I hope people will pay attention to this because it's like, my opinion, it's what moves every other thing. It's what makes you sleep well at night because the bills will always come, but those bills should not threaten you. Yeah, 1,001 way to manage all those things. Um, Anyways, before we continue, I'd like to give a shout out to all the people watching us from the different media platform on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. We appreciate you very much. Feel free to send in your comments, questions if you have any. I keep checking them. That's why I keep looking back. Also, beyond that, I'd like to let you know that this podcast is brought together to you by Setlinn, the social media platform which we are building. We as Migrant for Migrants. Settling connects and informs you about migration, the things that you need to know before you move, how you settle in, and also how you thrive. When you look around, you have to scout for information when you want to move abroad to study, to work, to relocate from different platforms. Our goal at Settling is to put our experience together and see that migration becomes more seamless, more sustainable, but above all, more transparent. A lot of things that we talk about, these are things that you can do as an individual. But just like Romaric mentioned, if you don't have the right information, you cannot do a lot of things. And that's what we're creating, an information central platform with the community that you can share your experience, learn from the experience of other people, and you just keep growing. So that being said, Romaric, I'd like to touch on um, another aspect, like very, very specifically. If I am watching this video from Nigeria, from Cameroon, from Ghana, from India, I'm not in Germany yet, I'm not in Europe yet, I plan to come here. If you look back before you came to Germany, I think in your case it's a bit different. But let's, look at the classical individuals that do not consciously think about finance and how much power it has, what would you say or what would you recommend to these people? They're watching this, they're planning to move abroad. What mindset would you encourage them to have before they take on that bold step to move abroad?
Yeah, Mike, I'm glad you asked this question because it's part of the journey which I'm trying to share with my own community. People can, if you check my videos on all finance, on all the platforms, um, TikTok, YouTube, I try to, my goal is for us to change the mentality we have about abroad. Okay. So
Okay.
if you are in Africa right now and you are about traveling, the first thing you should think about is that it is a risk you are taking to move
100%.
abroad, meaning you will face difficulties, no doubt. You are going to face times which you even regret you leaving the comfort of your home. But now, before moving abroad, there are things that you need to find out about that country.
Yeah.
You need to, for example, let's be very specific about Germany, for example, which has, first of all, the language barrier, which already
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
exists before you live in Cameroon, Ghana, and all the rest. So now, before you leaving, you already know that I need to learn this language before I leave.
Yeah.
How much will it cost me to learn this language in the country compared to if I started back home?
100%.
That is a very good question you should ask yourself. So,
Yeah.
meaning that if you want Germany to be your destination, you
Mm-hmm.
need to start learning the language. Even
Yeah.
if you don't have the resources to pay for a language class, there are so many online platforms that offer
100%.
free trainings, even on
100%.
YouTube. You
Yeah.
need to start getting active in that area because without
Yeah.
the language, I bet you is going to slow your path or your success.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
now, before you come to a country, every country has its own bureaucracy hurdle, like
Yeah.
how to even access even a bank account, what are the types of documents you need, what all these things, I bet you they are found online.
Yeah.
So now, looking at the investment side of it, meaning your investment journey should start in your mind, even in Africa.
100%.
Give yourself time frames. I bet you there will be there will be stumbling blocks. But once
Yeah.
you have that mentality that within a year, I have to master this language. Within 2 years, I have to finish my master's program. Within 3 years, I have to find myself a very good job. And people always earn in that area, meaning that you have enough time to do research about the investment opportunities in that area. So when you come to a country like Germany, you shouldn't enslave yourself with your surroundings. There are
Yeah.
trade fairs to attend. There are
Yeah.
so many community gatherings that you can belong to. You can even start researching about them online. You
Before you
might
move.
even have a business idea. You might even start applying to belong to those communities that you can even share your ideas with them, or once you come here, they will even welcome you with open arms. So,
Yeah.
meaning that we as Africans should start trying to belong to different types of communities that can be a plus or an addition to your success in the country that you are going to. But most
Yeah.
of us limit ourselves in the yeah, I'm coming to you, Mike. Most of us limit ourselves when to the student community. If you're coming as a student, you limit yourself to the student community. But instead, you should expand your know-how and try to belong to other communities that can improve the way you think about that country.
Hmm. Hmm.
You
Yeah,
wanted to say
totally.
something, Mike?
All right. So, yeah, I wanted to do something. For instance, now, if I go to the UK, they have a payment platform set up. Like, is it Practice? As an every other payment is passed through there, where automatic you get some automatic deductions for every single transaction, or is calculated. The tax rate and everything that applies is done automatically. Now you were also talking about maybe if you come to Nigeria, if you want to open an account, like some places where they travel abroad, even their SIM card, they don't know how it works. Can I use my SIM card from Nigeria there? Can I use my account number? If I come to maybe like Germany, what are the first things I need to do so that I can start banking with them? What is their banking system like? I mean, can you just run us through quickly these things? If I travel abroad, what are the first things that I need to do, financially speaking, to get going? Maybe start transacting from their bank. Can I still be using my ATM in Nigeria? Use my bank? How does it work?
Actually, if you travel abroad, definitely you have to get yourself a bank account. I'll be very specific with Germany, okay? Meaning that
Yeah.
Okay.
before you leave your home, meaning you have to look for a means to get an address. One of the things that slow, even for example, students to even look for to have their resident permit handy is because they struggle to look for address, or that because you need to register your address before you are able to access your bank account.
Hmm.
So now, if you are able to access your to have an address even back from home, okay, because they are legit platforms that you can even apply from there, or either way someone knows someone who can help you out. So once you do that, once you register, one of the things is that in every bank, okay, in every bank there are services that are very specific to the type of person, like a student or a worker, different advantages. So one of the mistakes that most of us make is that because my friend proposed uh Sparkasse to me, and I opened my bank account in Sparkasse, that is where I should stay forever. You need to find the advantages that your bank can offer you. Okay. So meaning that in the areas of you navigating the system, it's a very specific process when it comes to Germany. If you open your bank account, you need when you come here, you need to apply for your Steuer ID, meaning that your tax identification number, because you need that also to look for a job. You need to apply for, you need to have a bank account if you want a job, and for that you need an address. So these three things are very important for you to even access the work sector. So now, even before you travel, there are certain areas which you can start looking for a job in Germany. So the first thing is, if you are unable to take care of your own self or pay your bills, that it brings financial stress. And the
Yeah.
first thing you need to do is to try to evaluate or to screen those area immediate surrounding to find the jobs that are available. For example, a student. So to be very specific to answering your question is, you need to belong to communities because there are always people that can help you. For example,
Hmm.
there are always people, there are information online. If you type even online, like the process, all documents that you need when in your first arrival, you will see it in online. So you need to follow that process in order to facilitate your stay here in Germany. And even, for example, your tax declaration, there are platforms that you can easily declare your taxes there, if no matter your status.
Mm. Maybe just to
Thank you
touch
so
on
much.
that a
Yeah,
bit. Yeah, maybe if I
over
may
to you,
just
Mike.
touch on that. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that and then let you continue. So I guess the key thing is the financial system here works completely differently, or to a large extent, very much differently than how it works back home, say in Nigeria or other parts of Africa, in the sense that primarily your address is like the most important thing because it's literally tied to everything else that you can do. So the key thing for that person who is moving, for them to land softly and get started would definitely be to uh, get an official residential address because you would need that first to open a bank account. You would even need that to register a SIM card which you buy before you can even start to make calls. And about using your ATM card from Nigeria or other parts of the world, that would depend on the issuer of the card. If it's Visa, MasterCard, potentially you could use it, but you should keep in mind the exchange rates. So there is that. But in general, I think the key advice here is finding a community that you can actually get the most recent information and also what's more specific to you, because again, it also depends how you come in. Are you coming as a student, as a worker? The kind of things that you have access to and the type of residence permits that you have are also different. So you see that all these things they kind of play different roles to uh, before you know what exactly can be the case for you. But fundamentally, the primary thing is to try to get an address as soon as possible because every other thing is tied around that. Yeah. Okay. So Michael is hanging again. It's a tough one. That's a
No,
tough one.
I totally understand. It's Africa, so
Okay, but so um, I guess also now maybe just moving a step forward um, from where we are right now. The next thing which is coming to my mind now is um, especially for students, because majority of migrants they come as students. So, and when you come as a student, you don't have so much money, if at all you even have, you know. I like what you mentioned from the beginning, that yeah, most migrants they are always in the survival mode. And one key way to shift that mindset is moving from that survivor mentality more to a mentality of looking at the opportunities which are in front of you. What do you think a new international student who just moved to Germany, they're still studying, and maybe their study program is so tough for them, they don't really have time for any other extra stuff, say in the first year. My question would be, how soon, when should I, as a new international student, begin to even get into that mindset of opportunities rather than looking at challenges? Like, when I look at the default things which I have to do or the default commitment, um, how soon should I start getting into this other mindset and what specific actions should I take? I'm asking this for someone who's watching right now and they're very keen on knowing the practical things to do. Like I just arrived a few weeks ago, I'm going to be studying, but I also want to position myself to see that in the next, because time flies really fast here. I want to position myself that in the next 6 months or 12 months, I already know what kind of engagement that I'm going to be doing just to see that I start building up collaterals or whatever financial knowledge or just to get into the best financial mindset.
okay. So to be very specific, as an international student, I know I've been one myself, so I know their challenges. I know I can imagine what some of them are going through because at the end of the day, there are some who cannot even afford their rent. Let's be realistic,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because of the challenges that they are facing in the job market.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, as an if I were to go back, being an international student, freshly arriving in a country like Germany, the first thing is I will try as much as I can to focus, even though I'm studying in English, even if because most of us from the English speaking part of Africa come here to study in English, even though my studies is in English, I will try as much as I can to focus on the language
Mm-hmm.
parallel to my studies.
Language.
And then because I will need to feed myself, I will need to pay my bills. So, meaning
100%.
any work will do at that point in time. Meaning, they say the best way to look for a job is by having a job before looking for a
Yeah.
better one. Meaning,
Yeah.
you have to, no matter the type of job that you see as your first job, hang on to it before looking
Yeah.
for better opportunities.
Yeah.
And as a student, from your first month, or say, let's say, maybe give you maybe 2 or 3 months, and afterwards, actively start looking for internship because they were going to define you having a good job in the future. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now
Mm-hmm.
looking at the financial aspect of it, like investment and all the rest, if as a student you are able to save at least 200 euros a month, then you can be able to confidently ask yourself, what can I do with this money? What
Yeah.
can I do with the extra money I have? Because
Yeah.
definitely, as a student, if you are able to save at least 200 euros, you can set aside at least 100 euros for emergency fund every month.
Yeah.
And the 200 and the 100 euros, you need to seek how you can start your investment journey. I am very pissed off by when I hear a young guy of about 20, between 20 to 25, telling you investment is a risk.
Mm-hmm.
What if you don't take the risks now? When are you going
Yeah.
to take the risks? Because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you have all access to information regarding because of course, as a student, you cannot start talking about real estate because real estate will warrant you to change your visa status to have at least the down payment, or to have at least a permanent residence, or your how do they say, even your work contract will also determine how you enter the real estate market. So you shouldn't start thinking about that now, but it doesn't stop you
Yeah.
from researching about what actually you need to be qualified to get into real estate. And when we say real
Yep.
estate, you must not actually get into it as an individual, meaning you can get into real estate as a community, as friends. Okay, so there's that possibility. As a student, try to start building like-minded individuals around you, that
Mm-hmm.
you people can
Mm-hmm.
talk other than drinking beer, laughing, or talking about studies. No, to talk beyond that. Give yourselves assignments. So, bro, look at the areas, or try to navigate, or try to do your research on, for example, mutual funds, or try to locate someone which we can talk about mutual funds, ETFs, life insurance, all those things. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
should. There is no excuse for you researching about information, the right information you need, and because there is a difference between someone who has the money and he doesn't act upon it, and someone who does not even have the money, but he also already has a plan on when he has that money. So because you will not remain a student for life. That's why you say some money surprise people, meaning that after earning just about 1,000 euros a month, after you finish your studies, you earn 4,000 euros a month. It's like, what should I do with this money? But if you started thinking about investments, all those
Yeah. Yeah.
strategy, all those
Yeah.
research, long way where you were when you're a student.
You know
Some
what to
people will say,
do.
I don't have the time. Bro, you have
Yeah.
the bro or sis, you have the time. Everyone, you create
100%.
time. Meaning, even if you
Time.
dedicate weekend just to research or even belong or attend community events that has to do with finance or that has to do with something other than your expertise, okay, it will go a long
Mm-hmm.
way in shaping your decision when you have even
Mm-hmm.
this finance to expand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot, Romaric. So, Michael, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
You seem to be smitten by the by this last point from Romaric. Okay, Michael, go on. Let's have the last questions from your side so we can wrap up soon.
Okay, okay. So, you've spoken a lot about the mindset, and how it means everything. So, I don't know. For you, you've also mentioned about having a robust cultural infrastructure that is supportive enough and provide people with the right information on what to do and all that. Thank you so much for all that. I just wanted to say, and also thank you for what you need to do. Like Michael mentioned, the address very important and all that. You've also done a lot. So now, if I move to, you've also said the kind of what you came to do in Europe also determines certain privileges that you can enjoy, mutual funds and all that. So now, for the person who is in Ghana, who is in Senegal, Sierra Leone, what so sorry. Okay, what are those things that you must do not to be financially stranded? Because we see this a lot. What do I do not to be financially stranded when I travel to Germany? Let's use Germany as for an instance now.
Mm, yeah,
That is a very vague question, but like Mike made mention of the fact that it will depend on how you came here. How you, some people come here with the opportunity card. Some people come here as students. Some come here family reunification. So it also depends on all these things. Because when we say financially stranded, if, for example, you don't have a job, okay, you cannot talk about even investment if you don't have a source of income.
yeah,
So meaning that if it's intentional financially stranded, which is being caused by yourself. For example, if you are a single person, I'll take an example. You are a single person, you are earning 3,000 euros a month. The first thing you think about is you need a new car. You get yourself a lease. Secondly, you need a bigger apartment which you don't need. You need to buy dresses which you will not even wear them. You go for gym membership which you will not even need them. Then at the end of the day, you are able to save just about 200 or 300 euros a month because your expenses are so alarming. Then, from time to time, you get messages from Africa that they need assistance. That 200 euros are already gone. That is self-inflicted financial challenge that you are causing for yourself because you could have prevented this situation. Okay, and one thing is that we as Africans, when we come here, we actually try to behave as visitors. We don't see ourselves establishing here in the long term. Meaning that if you are able to earn something and you evaluate your expenses and you see that you have about 1,000 euros or even 500 euros aside, you should not always think about Africa. Of course, we have to help people in Africa. The help won't stop because if something happens to you, nobody will come to help you. You don't expect someone from Africa to send you money regularly to pay your rent. No. Okay. So, meaning that you need to be fit, meaning you need to create a foundation for yourself to be able to support what you are giving in Africa. Meaning, if something happens to you, in the back of our minds, if something happens to you, what do you rely on? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
cannot really speak for those who face difficulties in sometimes having job and things like that, because those things happen even abroad. You have people who are unable to pay their rent, especially for example, those who come as asylum seekers. They face a lot of challenges. I cannot speak to someone who is going through that problem that, bro, you must invest, you must invest. I cannot. It's not practicable.
Yeah.
I cannot speak to someone who is unable to pay their rent because they are facing difficulties in having a job about you investing. I cannot do that. It's not practicable. But for someone who is earning, you must not earn good. But for someone who is earning and you are able, the problem with us is that we try to compete for no good reason. Who are you competing with? Who paid your flight to come to Germany? Nobody is watching you. Nobody cares. But we are so conscious of the fact that we need to to put on an image which nobody cares about. And it
Yeah.
puts us under financial strain,
Yeah.
and we don't start building. Ownership is power, meaning that even if you cannot even afford real estate, you can afford a portion in a company.
Yeah.
That is
Mm.
stocks. So
Mm-hmm.
meaning some will say, I have no knowledge about that. There are a lot of people who can help you.
Yeah.
You need to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
You need to have backup. You need to build an emergency fund before even thinking about helping others. So we need to wake up in the areas where we not only focus on just our income from our job, but also explore other opportunities that our money can work for us. That way,
100%.
you can avoid yourself putting under unnecessary financial strain. Because I bet you, I also send money to Africa. But before I do that, I need to first of all make sure myself I'm stable enough. When I say stable enough, it doesn't mean I have to have too much. But I need some security here myself. Because if I'm unable to work, if I'm unable to work, what do I depend on?
Yeah.
This is where investments come in. Investment can support you while you are jobless. So, meaning the decisions you
All right.
take while you are able to earn money matters a lot. There are a lot of things that
Wow.
can go wrong, but without you using your money appropriately, it will affect you a lifetime.
100%.
All right. Thank you so much. Over to you, Michael.
Yeah, no, Romaric, that was very deep. A lot of issues that we get ourselves involved in, we cuss it. I personally, I also have my own fair share of experience. I did made a bad investment decision back in 2022 and stuff. Um, and when I think about it, I don't beat myself a lot. I feel like it happened and it happened. And it all goes back to where do you invest, You can't live in one location and you're putting your major funds in a completely different location where you have very limited access to. Not to mention that how solid are you here already? And I think that's the key cause of that, financial stress. What was that word you used for the question again, Michael?
Be
Um,
financially stranded.
being financially stranded, 100%, and it happens gradually with small decisions here and there. Before you know it, you become truly financially stranded. I think the bottom line is um, you are the engine and you need to be running for you to be able to assist other people and do other stuff. You, who's the main engine, you have to be running because if you're shut down, then everything else is shut down. Romaric, I'd like to thank you so very much for joining us today. As you can imagine, we can go on and on with this conversation, but I
Definitely.
do sincerely hope that someone somewhere watching this um, from any of the media platform right now, live or later, that you can learn something. The bottom line is inform yourself very well. Be around like-minded people, well, not just like-minded people, because what's your mindset, right? So be around the mindset of people who are there where you want to be. If you need to have a vision for yourself, and once you have that vision, try to align yourself with people who also have that vision, who are going in that direction. And that's what we're building at Setlinn. If you're not on Setlinn, I do encourage you to check out setlinn.com. You will also you'll see the details, just rolling here. I put that in just 1 second. So check out setlinn.com if this is the first time here. But more specifically to this conversation, if you want to get started, if you are still back home or you are living in Germany or other parts of Europe, feel free to get in touch. You will find Romaric on LinkedIn. You would find me on LinkedIn too. Wherever you're watching this from, you can also just leave a comment. Our contact details are all over the place. We're happy to give you a free consultation, learn about your situation, and put you on the right path. The truth is, the best things in life come to us for free. I genuinely believe in that. It's you just have to recognize it and grab it. Romaric, any final words from you before we wrap it up for this morning?
Yeah, I just have one or two. I want to say that we all need each other, meaning that that is why I've made it my life's mission to help, especially people from the African background, navigate the German financial system. And one thing I try to do is to share knowledge, because I some people say, why don't I charge for consultation fee? No, that is not the end game. The end game is knowledge, meaning the more I share knowledge, the more I do my research, the more I get informed, the more I get engraved in the financial decisions that I make. For example, I
Yeah,
am a financial advisor. It's not the finance, the consultation or the clients that give me the money to take care of my family. It is the
mm,
investments that I have behind.
yeah,
So, meaning that it is my responsibility to help. I will put this help because at the end of the day, there is joy in helping. There is joy in when you look back and you see the people you have helped actually succeeding and smiling and calling you friends and calling you brother.
yeah,
It is an achievement that no one can actually take that away from you. So
100%.
if you are out there and you want any guidance on any investment sector in Germany, you can reach out to me on my LinkedIn, Romaric Ntomen, or you can reach out to me on my TikTok, All Fin Germany, including my Instagram, All Fin Germany, Facebook, and all the rest. It is time for us to grow together, to strive together, and to succeed together.
100%. It's about time. It's about time. For sure. And then, guys, yeah, if you missed out the details, feel free to get in touch with me, and 100% I'm going to connect you to Romaric. And if you watch
Definitely.
my content, you definitely will see Romaric showing up every time. So we are operating within the same larger ecosystem, and we're happy to have you with us. Good. So I thank everyone who joined this conversation today from the various location. We're bringing it to an end for this morning. We exceeded the 30 minutes. Um, but yeah, I guess we went with
That's
the flow.
finance. That's finance for you.
We went with the flow today. Yeah. Michael, any final words from you before we just close it for this morning?
Yeah, nothing more than to just say thank you to Romaric and to all our audience for today and for your time and for your patience. We actually exceeded the time as mentioned with Michael. We're sorry for that. Like Romaric said, that's what happens when you discuss finance. It's a serious business.
Yeah.
100%. Well, I hope it was valuable to you guys. Feel free to rewatch and share those videos with everyone who needs to see it and get in touch. Let's talk. It won't cost you anything. The best things in life are for free. Keep that in mind. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.